I think that's a new feature. Okay, yay, recording. This is week 8, final week of Collab Lab 25. Did we lose Andrew?
Looks like it.
What happened there? Okay, he's coming back in. Andrew, we lost you. And now you're back. Zoom magic. We lost you.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe it was right when I started recording. They're like, Andrew's out.
Yeah.
You've been voted off the island.
Oh man.
No.
Not the first time.
We are recording week 8. I can't believe it. I'm so excited to see the final demo of this app. I think it's super cool from what we've seen so far. And so I will let whomever is in charge of demos take it away.
Yes, yeah, I'm also very excited already. But the app, so who wants to go first?
I can do.
Okay, great, Katja, thanks.
Screen sharing is disabled.
You should be good every time this happens. You should be good to go.
Do you see my browser window okay?
Yes, this is so cute.
Okay, wait. Oops, sorry. Okay, hi everyone. I'm going to talk about accessibility. So one of the first things we did to test for it was to use a web developer extension, which you can add to Firefox. I'll show you what it can do. Okay. So I go on up to tools, validate HTML, and this will show you all of the HTML errors if you have any. We don't. The next tool we used is Wave, which can be installed either separately or you can have it as a part of the Firefox web developer extension. So if I go to the accessibility here, and if I go to analyze my page, this will give me a rundown of issues that came back, including elements requiring color contrast, ID attributes, that they should be unique, headings should not be empty, links should have discernible text, etc., etc. And for each of these items, the tool should show you the HTML in question and then a bit more information. So here at the moment, you can see we're passing all of the automated checks, which was not the case before, and we had to add a few tweaks. For example, we needed to make sure our icon buttons were accessible to keyboard and screen reader users. So because the icon artwork is represented in an SVG, so a common best practice is to use the title element. So we put some text in it. The title element also needs a unique ID. We gave it an ID here. Then we needed to give this SVG element a little bit more help. And pointed, we added an ARIA labeled by attribute and pointed it to the SVG title. And we did that to all icon buttons across our app to make sure they are accessible to our users. Also, we needed to make sure we created accessible forms using some pretty basic HTML. So for example, here we use the for attribute in our form label, then we gave our input the ID with the same name, and this way the label and the input got paired up together even though they are in separate elements. So for checkboxes, we used a different technique called implicit labeling. So where you simply wrap the text and the input in a label element, and that nicely pairs those together. Okay, so also our app has some interactive items in it. So another task was to ensure if we can get those elements from the keyboard. And the thing we're going to do now on arriving on each view to determine its accessibility is to start all the way at the top and then tab through everything to see if things that should be interactive are in fact interactive. So let's turn on VoiceOver. This is the screen reader on the Mac platform. I'm going to turn it on with Command F5.
Ibrahim Alalakan has left the meeting. VoiceOver on. Speech off.
Okay, thanks for that, VoiceOver. To start interacting with the content, I'm going to flick right with 2 fingers on the trackpad, and now I'm going to use the tab key, which is supposed to get
Ibrahim Alalakan has joined the meeting.
which is supposed to get me to interactive controls like links, buttons, and form controls. So if I hit the tab key, it will take my focus to, oops, I missed that. Sorry. I need to restart that because of the Ibrahim leaving the room and joining the game. Okay, so if I hit the tab key, it will take my focus to the create list button, which I can click by hitting enter. Once that happens, I am on a new page. Again, I'm going to repeat the same steps here. So flick right with 2 fingers on the trackpad and use the tab key and then the enter key. This brings me to the add item view. Let me add an item. And a few more to go back. I use the combination of Shift Tab. And we are ready to view our list. So here to check the checkboxes, I'm going to use the space key. So as you see, we only make things focusable if they have an action associated with it. And also, what have I not shown to you is I can delete the item by choosing yes or cancel. Yeah. So basically, if I click on the interactive element, you can see the focus is sent into that element, which is really great for people who have limited dexterity. And that's all from me. That's how we tested our app for accessibility.
Okay, this was such an amazing demo. I'm very impressed. Really, really great. Thank you so much. Yeah, does anyone have any questions? It was really, really great.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions, but this is probably my favorite app that I've seen so far. It is so cute. And that demo was incredible. Like a live demo like that, tabbing through things can be tricky. And you did such a good job. Amazing work, team. This was so good. I'm going to mute because
Thank
I'm
you
opening
so
crackers.
much.
Great
Yeah,
job.
Totally,
I feel
totally.
like I learned a lot about accessibility just from this demo. So
Totally.
When you turned on voiceover, I was like, oh no, but it was like,
Okay, yeah.
no, this is fine. So proud of you.
Yeah, great job. I also wasn't expecting you to actually show us a voice reader. I was like, okay, the properties are all there, it's working. And the design is awesome. So great job.
It's so beautiful. I love the way when you click them, they like jump into their own like beautiful little categories. And I love how you highlighted. Okay, go ahead. I love how you colored the like buttons, like the radio buttons instead of like the whole thing. I don't think I've seen that so far. And it's like super tidy and cute. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very happy to hear this.
Anyone, some comments on this? Otherwise, we would go to the other group.
Or just a question, Katya, did it take a lot more extra research for accessibility and using these tools to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, I had to because I kind of had a zero understanding of how to do this. I mean, I knew that it all started with semantic HTML, but that was it. How to do testing for accessibility using keyboard and screen readers, I had no idea. And it took me a lot of time to figure this out. So, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. And I'm sure it'll help for, yeah, like future projects that you work on as well, being able to take some things into consideration.
Totally, totally,
Cool.
totally.
Okay, amazing demos, amazing app. I know you're all sticking around for Career Lab, so I don't even have to say goodbye, but I'm gonna bounce and I'll see you in Career Lab things. Bye,
Sounds good.
Bye,
friends. Love
Stacey.
you all.
Bye.
Bye, Stacey.
I'm curious, is anyone going to show maybe, I'd love to see sort of some of your design process, like just kind of maybe catch me up on how you went about that. And, you know, sort of like, did you use a CSS framework? Like what, I'd love to hear from some of the other team, the rest of the team as well.
I think Cindy will talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So to answer what Andrew was asking, so we first like last week we just used vanilla CSS, but then we decided this week that we're going to use SAS to just make it simple, readable, and even just make it easier to update in case we want to. So so we first divided the CSS that we had done last week into like different modules. Like we have like the add view, and then we have the empty list. So we just divided them into different modules so that someone can just jump straight into a component CSS without going through the whole CSS. And then just to make it even easier to read, we added like some mixins, for example, the media query. So we just created this mixin, and anytime we needed to use the media query, so we could just use the include, and then we add the length and the contents in it. So this make it easier to just not have app create button media query. We can just add everything together in the app create button, for example. Also, we use this selector to just reference to the parent instead of saying add button forecast. So we just use straight this selector and we could just add it inside the add button. Yeah, so this is what we did. Oh, we also just created variables for colors in case we just want to update it. It just make it easier, and we use them like here in each module. Like for example, here we could now reference to those variables. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't think there's a need to go through everything. So this is like the reset CSS and then we imported the CSS also here in the app.css. Yeah, and we were able also to like each component has its own CSS instead of just putting all the CSS together. We just made sure that each component has its own CSS. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, that's great. Great use of variables and just it's like really tidy. And I love that y'all didn't use a framework. That's cool. That like scores points with me for sure.
We love vanilla CSS.
Yeah, great job on splitting it up. Like you would do in a real production project, you would need to split up the CSS because it would start getting out of hand if you just kept it in one file. And as Andrew said, I love that you use the variables for the colors. As I wrote in my review, maybe some other properties can go in mixins too, because some of the classes are very lengthy. They have a lot of CSS in them, and maybe some of those can be abstracted in mixins also. But using SAS is a very good idea. So great job with that.
Thank you.
Just looks great all around.
I was about to say that we
Yeah.
don't have anything to say because it just looked great.
Very proud.
So are we ready for retros? I posted the retro link in Slack if anybody couldn't find it. It's in, of course, you can just go directly to the projects in TCL 25. Now for our final retro, the difference is that there's an extra column at the end. What's next for you? So we can post some things about our plans for the future, our next career steps. I'm really curious to hear about the next steps you're planning to take, both for the students and the mentors. So let's take 10 minutes, and if it's not enough time, we can take 5 more minutes to write our appreciations. Okay, so see you in 10 minutes. Maybe we'll take 5 more minutes. At least for me, I want to write some more things.
Sounds good.
By the way, I might have moved some cards by mistake because I seen that what could be improved column. There are some, maybe Alex, one of your cards.
Yeah, I'll double check. I'm all done, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, no worries, Andrew. I feel like this is gonna go by. I think we're gonna probably finish before the top of the hour.
Oh, I saw all those cards. There's a lot of cards. I
A
was
lot of
thinking
cards.
it's
That
gonna
is
run
true.
long, but
Yeah, I shouldn't speak too soon here.
if I mean if needed, I can kind of read my cards and then dip as well. So
Sure, yeah, whatever works.
Yep. Maybe we can do it like this, that everybody reads their cards instead of going column by column, or just for Andrew.
Yeah, we
yeah,
can do
I mean,
that.
I want to be here for as much as I can.
Mhm.
So we can also play it by ear. And if we get towards the end and I need to go, I'll just maybe skip ahead.
Okay. Is everybody done? Okay, so I'll share the screen. Okay, so for our final retro, first the shout outs and appreciations. Ibrahim, do you want to read your card?
Okay. So my card goes those all thanks to God for making this of journey a successful one. To my teammates, greater heights in the future I pray. And to the mentors, you guys are such a darling. And a thank you won't be enough, but I'm very grateful for all what you guys have done.
Uh, Thank you so much, Ibrahim. And thank you too for everything you've done. And next to Tsunami.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thankful to the mentors, my teammates, and everyone whose efforts went into making Collab Lab a safe place for us to learn and grow. Because this was a very amazing experience this past few weeks, and it wouldn't have been so if we didn't feel safe enough to learn and ask questions and just grow together. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm also grateful to everyone for being understanding these last 2 weeks when I had exams and couldn't be as active as I would have hoped. So yeah, thank you, Katya and Cynthia, for filling in the gap. Thank you to the mentors for being understanding. And thank you to everyone for all your help.
Okay, thank you, Tsunami. And life gets in the way sometimes, so you have to be flexible. And now, Julia.
Yeah, thank you to everybody, developers and mentors for the last 8 weeks. These weeks were amazing. In the beginning, the developers were a bit shy, I was like, but it changed a lot till the end, and it was a great teamwork, and I really appreciate working with all of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Julia. And now for Cynthia. Cynthia?
Yeah. Also, I thank my fellow developers. I've really learned a lot. And it's because of them and their good collaboration and the communication. Also want to thank the mentors, Andrew and other Collab Lab organizers for just being supportive and being there. Yeah, anytime we needed them. Thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia. And Katya.
Thank you to all teammates. We all did great. The sense of care has really shined through. Also, big thanks to Julia, Alex, Golfo for being super supportive and always willing to jump in, help. I learned a lot from all of you. And also big thanks to Stacy and Andrew for your support and encouragement.
Thank you, Katya. Now it's mine. Thank you, everybody, for your great work. Week after week, you all took time from your busy schedules and overcame hardships to help and support each other and deliver great work. Special shout out to my fellow mentors for their great collaboration with me, and I hope we can mentor again in another cohort. And now, Alex.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like I say this every retro, but I really am so impressed with like the level of progress this cohort has made from the very beginning to now, as a group in collaborating with each other, and then also just individually, each of you as well. Everyone had different levels of experience when we all first started out 8 weeks ago, and then being able, sorry, my dog is like having a weird moment and he's like looking out the window. Being able to just see the concrete progress week after week, and then all of how it's all culminated over the course of these 8 weeks is like so inspiring. So thank you all, and I really can't wait to see what you all do next. And yeah, please do stay in touch with the Collab Lab through the Slack community, and I can't wait to see what you all do.
Thank you, Alex. And now, Andrew.
Yeah, just appreciate all of you. Just, I don't take for granted that the fact that you all chose to spend the last 8 weeks together here doing this thing. So I just really appreciate all the hard work that both the developers and mentors put into kind of making this a success. So great work. The app looks great. Yeah, I'm really just I really so appreciate just kind of all the attention you all paid to the program. So thanks a lot.
And thank you very much, Andrew, for setting up the Collab Lab. Okay, so now to what went well. First, Ibrahim.
looks like he got kicked off the call again. He'll be back in a minute, hopefully.
And I can't tell, you know, he says everything went well because we have an app in production, and I can't tell if he's surprised or proud, or he looks a bit surprised. So let's move on and wait for him to get in the call again. Alex.
Yeah, what went well? Obviously, the app turned out beautifully. Just based on these last couple of weeks, I'm so impressed with the really final focus on accessibility. I think often accessibility really gets kind of set aside as just like a final thought, kind of throw some ARIA labels on things and whatnot. But I really love that this was a true strong focus the last week, and that we're able to really walk through and see how accessible the app is, and it shows really a good and just a great empathy for the end user, and very good work there.
Thank you, Alex. And Tsunami?
Yeah, so the app has taken on shape these last 2 weeks design-wise, and it's been great to see, because where it was just between like 2 weeks ago and now, it's like so vastly different, and it looks so great. And like thumbs up to Katia and Cynthia, they've done amazing on this, and this looks amazing. Super proud.
Okay, yep, I agree. That looks amazing. Julia.
Yeah, the demos were amazing, and thank you so much for it. You did really a good job on styling the app on both the UI and as well as the file structure. And I was a fan for your demos from the very beginning, and it was always a pleasure listening to them. I also learned a lot out of it. So thank you very much.
Okay, yep, I also like the demo so much. Now for Cynthia.
Yeah, so I'm happy also of the outcome from this project. Like the application, the app looks really great. Also happy for the communication and collaboration during the design phase, like the brainstorming sessions that we had every week. Like, yeah, they were really helpful, and we were able to like during a fast brainstorming session, like we kind of design like some stuff to just help us see how it should look. But I'm happy that we were able to, yeah, just see it in the design, like the design came through well.
Yep, thank you. And Cynthia, you have, it's the same card, it's a duplicate. Just delete it. And Katia.
Well, a lot of things have gone really well. We've been all managing full schedules and still managed to get things done. We have an app that's fully functional. We've also been so keen to make it look well, and also learning about accessibility was really, really interesting.
Thank you, Katia. The final version of the app is very impressive, and the end result is very creative. You had great presentations each week, and week by week you picked up speed and finally went on autopilot. So you did a really amazing job. And Andrew?
Yeah, I was really impressed with your demo. Love how the app turned out. The focus on accessibility was great. I love to see that. So that's near and dear to my heart, and as is using vanilla CSS. So I mean, Sass is, it's close enough. You didn't use a framework, which I think is great. It's actually it rarely happens at Collab Lab. Almost everybody uses a framework, so it kind of makes this group stand apart from the other ones. So nice job.
Yay!
Thank you, Andrew. So a lot of things went well, and here we have a couple of things that can be improved. Katia?
Well, there is a lot of room for improvement. Readability of our code could be improved. Our app could be refactored even into more components. We could add tests, and I could go on and on about the things that could be improved. But yeah, that's just the start.
Yep, I agree with that. It would be very useful if you could add them. Sorry, Katya.
Just not enough time for this.
Yep, I mean, in the future, if you decide to, keep working on the app, it would be a great idea. For me, what could be improved, that maybe communication could have been a bit better for all of us, as I think Julia wrote in one of the cards that the devs were a bit shy in the beginning on Slack. But things turned out all right in the end, so we worked things out. And for me personally, I could have been more present. I feel like I didn't give 100% this cohort. I don't know, I didn't have so much energy, so I wasn't so enthusiastic. So I'll be taking a break for the summer. And this is Alex's card.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great. Again, it's been great working over the past 8 weeks. We've learned a lot about navigating different expectations and opinion. Going forward, I think you all have a great experience now working in not only a remote and distributed team, but also a very multicultural team. And I think this is a really good opportunity and experience to bring to your next opportunity, whether that be professional or something volunteer oriented or whatnot. One of the best pieces of advice that I've personally used professionally and personally in my life is just to, no matter what, assume the best of intentions with whomever you're working with, and just kind of keep in mind that we're on the same team and we're working toward a similar goal. And even if that's not the case, like in the future and really objectively not, just having this in mind will help you move forward in your own work and be as good of a teammate as you can be.
Thank you, Alex, for that advice. It was very wholesome. And now what's next for all of us? Tsunemi.
Okay, yeah, so sorry if I sound a bit tired. I've been on the road for most of today, so well, participating in Career Lab, it's actually kicking off today, so looking forward to everything we'll be able to learn from that. And then working on side projects and building my portfolio. Like the first 5 months of this year, I basically used them to write exams, so I haven't done much. So I just like to, the next few months that are coming, work more on side projects and build my portfolio and things. And then contributing to communities that help me build skills in tech, because I have been a benefit of multiple communities like this. So that means giving back to Collab Lab. I'd also, for example, Showcode Africa here in Nigeria was where I learned a lot of JavaScript when I first started. So I'd like to teach on mentor there, so just teach newbies the basics of what little I know. And then yeah, that's it basically for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tsunemi. And Cynthia's plans.
Yeah, so me too, I plan to attend the Career Lab. So also I plan to look for an internship job, or maybe contribute to open source to continue building my JavaScript skills. And yeah, lastly, I'll continue to support and participate in Collab Lab community. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Cynthia. And now for Julia.
Yeah, while I'm in the US, I will finish my side project and my portfolio, and to start job hunting when I'm back in Austria in July. And for now, it seems that I have to look for jobs in Austria until Japan opens its borders. I think there's a long way to go for them. Also, I want to join meetups from the Collab Lab, which I couldn't until now because of the time difference, and now I have the ability to do it. And I also will meet another collabie when I'm in New York. I'm very excited about it, and because the Collab Lab changed my life, and I'm so happy to be part of it. Thank you very much, Andrew and Stacey. Yeah, I wish everyone best luck for their future.
Thanks, Julia.
I will meet Waverly. I don't know her last name. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And for me, all of you said that you'll be participating in the Collab Lab. For me, even though mentoring was a fun and rewarding experience, I'm taking a break from the Collab Lab for the summer to recharge my batteries and come back in autumn. And as for work, it's more of the same, no big changes this time. And Alex?
Yeah, kind of same. No big changes in my life. More just focusing on improving my skills each day as a software engineer, and just also making sure to be present for non-work moments and kind of living slowly instead of like kind of behind screens all the time, which I find myself doing. And then all of a sudden nights and weekends are gone. And so just kind of trying to focus on being mindful in non-work moments and improving in work moments.
Yeah, because work will never end. We'll be working for a lot of years to come, so we have to appreciate some small moments. Okay, thank you, Alex. Katya?
Continue working on my 55 side project and navigating that. Keep learning, keep dragging my bloodied and battered body through this whole code process, and hopefully start my career somewhere supportive.
Okay, thank you, Katya. And finally, Andrew.
Yeah, you were right, Alex. This is going to end right on time. So, so Collab Lab is going to keep on going. So, we start Career Lab in about an hour. We'll have another cohort kicking off in July. And I'm talking to someone I used to work with at Zapier, he's in New Zealand. We're trying to line up mentors in that part of the world to try to get a team going over in those time zones. So trying to expand out. I also got contacted by a potential mentor in Bangladesh. So if we can get mentors, that's really the limiting factor of like doing this in more places. So so please stay involved. I love hearing that some people are already planning to kind of stay involved with Collab Lab. It's amazing. You are all the veterans now. You've already been through it, right? So when new people come on, they can learn from your experience and hopefully have a better experience themselves. So if you are ever stuck, you're like applying for a job, or you have some hard problem at work or any of those kinds of things, this is a community where you can come and get support. So I hope you always feel like you can kind of be around and involved in different ways. So thank you so much for everything you've done. And I look forward to staying in touch with all of you.
So thank you, everybody.
Really quick, before we jump off, can we do a picture of everyone? If everyone's comfortable. If everyone's comfortable to jump on screen and do a quick smile and for our last cohort, that'd be awesome. Janine, Cynthia, if you're able to. We don't have Ibrahim. I think he had to come off. All right, everyone. Sorry we didn't announce this before, but you all look wonderful. All right, let me get.
Finally, I'm seeing Cynthia's face.
Oh wow!
8 weeks later.
All right, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wonderful. And just one more, just for good measure. Okay, amazing. That is it. Thank you all so much, and don't be strangers on Slack, and we'll talk over there. Amazing work.
Okay, great job. Thank you
everybody.
so much. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.